Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host, Derek Stevenson. And on today's episode, we are going to look over Kentucky. What I would say is probably one of their best victories of the season, another top 10 win. But this one was a little bit more impressive to me just because this one was on the road, and everybody knows Kentucky has been struggling a great deal to win on the road. I think we have only one true road victory this season, but we added another one against number 8 Tennessee. And I know Tennessee has sort of been trending backwards the same way Kentucky had. And Kentucky was in a bad spot before this game started because Kentucky could have potentially lost their third ball game in a row. We know they played a good game against Alabama and came up a little short. And then we had a disappointing loss against Vanderbilt, who actually looked like they proved to be a better team than, the rest of the country may have been giving them some credit for. They had just beaten Tennessee right before they beat us. So we was in a bad situation. We was approaching what could potentially be a third loss in a row. We was already down Kerr Kriisa. Then we added Butler and Carr to the list. And surprisingly, Carr tried to play a little bit in this game, and he just really, I guess they probably just felt like it wasn't worth it because, they said he had a couple of good workouts, and they were going to try to manage his minutes and ease him in. And I think once the game got started, I think it would have just been too much risk probably. Tennessee's a super physical defensive team, and maybe they was just a little afraid. And this is the time where I'm gonna be honest with you. I was prepared for us to lose this game, and I felt like I was gonna be okay with that because I would just rather get the guys healthy. Especially we are playing on the road, so I was cool to just, whatever the outcome was at the end of this game, I was gonna be okay with it. I did tell some people, because at first people was starting to say like, oh, everybody's just conceding this game. They scared of Tennessee, this, that, and the other. And I did tell a couple of people, I said, I believe if Kentucky gets hot, if they shoot the ball well, their A game is still going to be good enough to beat anybody in the country. And normally when we see Kentucky's A game, it's when they go over 50% from the field, when they shoot 50% from three. And even though they struggled in this game, they shot 50% from the field overall from regular distance and three-point distance. And that probably is the determining factor in the game. But I'm going to give you a reason why I think some of that is. First of all, of course, J.J. Barea went crazy as usual. He had 18 points. He did not miss a shot. I think he was 5 for 5. Well, he missed a free throw. He missed like 2 free throws, but he didn't miss a shot from the field. 18 points. And normally, when Barea shoots the ball good, we're always a little bit more dangerous. And two guys that I feel like they don't really get enough clock, and maybe it's probably because of defensive ability, but for this offense, two guys that usually always do something positive when they on the court, in my opinion, is Ansley Almanor. When he gets a lot of minutes, he usually plays good in this offense because he's a legit shooter. And then Trent Noah. For some reason, Trent Noah, like I said, it's probably defensive situations that worry Pope with Trent Noah. But Trent Noah is one of them guys that I feel like 9 times out of 10 when he shoots the ball, I believe he's got a high percentage of making the shots. He doesn't really try to do too much. He just kind of takes it when it's there. But I always feel good with him in this offense, and I hope that he sticks it out with Kentucky. He doesn't get frustrated about the playing time, and he grows into a player and just waits for his moment, because I feel like he can do some good things for this program in the future, and I hope that he mentally he stays locked in with Kentucky. Because I feel like when he gets to his point where he can, he's not a big liability on defense, I think he's going to be a real big asset for us on offense. But we got some usual suspect guys out there. Otega, Oway gave us another solid 14. We usually can count on that from him. He was attacking the basket, which is what I like from Oway. He ended up shooting 9 free throws, and he hit some big ones down the stretch. Jackson Robinson played well. Jackson Robinson, he's been showing up in some of the big games lately, so he did what he normally does, gave us 17. Like I said, when Kobe shoots the ball well, I feel like Kobe, Almanor, when those guys get to hitting threes, along with like Jackson Robinson, I feel like those are the three guys that, when we get them shooting the ball good, I feel like the offense usually is a little bit more efficient from just the eye test. Now, maybe the numbers might say different, but I feel like when those guys get a decent amount of 3-point attempts, Almanor took 7, he hit 4 of them. Kobe took 3, he hit all 3 of them. Jackson took 9 and hit 4. I feel like that makes our offense a lot more efficient, and that's what we need, especially when we down players. We need efficiency. We need, less wasted possessions, and we definitely had some ugly turnovers. Well, the last couple of games, man, we just been making a lot of plays that are like head scratchers when we try to force the ball into certain areas, or just sometimes we just being a little too robotic. We just catching the ball and looking exactly where we're going to try to pass it and waiting, and then we just I've seen some of that from Amari Williams, and I think Amari Williams is a great passer, but he was telegraphing a little bit the last couple of games. And but I will say this about Amari. Amari was kind of playing point center, if you will, the last several minutes of the game, and he was kind of getting the shooters some good looks. So as much as Amari kind of scares me sometimes when he's handling the rock, if he's actually orchestrating the offense good, it usually gets the shooters a lot better shots when they don't have to handle the ball as much, when they can just, work on getting to their spots. And when he gets them the rock and they can just shoot it, they look a lot better. But I gotta give I gotta give a lot of credit to Amari for this game, because Kentucky struggles rebounding, and Amari was actually getting busy this game. 15 rebounds along with 10 points. He was 3 for 5 from the field. So, and he was 4 of 6 from free throws. So Amari Williams played one of, if not maybe his best overall game this season, and we needed every bit of that. But shouts out to him for definitely going to work, especially with Carr being out. I think Carr only played 1 minute and it was over. Like I said, it's just at this point we got to get everybody healthy, because I don't think we can win the championship with more than maybe one guy being off for injury. We need Carr, we need Butler for different things they bring to the table. But like I said, I still want to see Almanor get some high level minutes. Maybe not 30 minutes, but definitely I feel like he needs to be on the court just because of his shooting ability. Because I feel like we have maybe potentially our 2 best shooters coming off the bench, which is Barea and Almanor. So I'm not saying that he should switch up his starting lineup or anything like that, but he's got to make sure that them guys is getting a decent amount of minutes, man, because I just feel like the way we run our offense, those guys getting more shots from the perimeter is going to make us a little bit stronger. But like I said, shouts out to Amari crashing the glass. He actually played so well that Garrison didn't really get to play as much as he normally does. He still played 16 minutes, but Amari was the one that was holding us down on the inside this game. And like I said, shouts out to him. But yeah, overall, man, like I said, I think this was I would definitely score this an A+ win for Kentucky, because like I said, this is one of them matchups where I had anticipated that we could potentially lose, and I was going to just be happy if we was competitive. But the main issue for me was I just wanted to see guys get healthy. Like I said, Carr, they gave him 1 minute and then snatched him out. It wasn't worth it. I guess they determined. But overall, Kentucky won the defensive battle thanks to Amari. He cleared half of the 30 rebounds. to Tennessee's 23. So, one of our struggles definitely as a team, rebounding, and we held it down. We ended up, let's see, total turnovers. We did turn the ball over 13 times, which is, normally when we have one of our better games, we usually have like 20 plus assists and less than 10 turnovers, and we only had 14 assists and 13 turnovers. So we still not handling the ball great, but I think it was much better than the game before against Vandy. So yeah, overall, I like what I see. Our largest lead of the game at one point was 11 to Tennessee's 3. So we only kind of had a couple of minutes in the game where it was starting to look a little scary. But we made some plays at the end, pulled it out, and like I said, get out of Knoxville with the win and get back to Lexington. But anyways, let's look at some of the highlights before we wrap this up. I know I have been rambling probably way too long anyway, so let's check this out and see what we like. And see, Berea right there just taking his time, man. You don't got to rush it. Everybody's going to be running at him. And that was just too open for Robinson right there. But yeah, man, just take your time. You don't have to rush and get the shot that you want. That was a good move right there by Amari. I ain't gonna lie. Amari, when Amari is in his point guard bag, he be setting these guys up real nice. Ortega going to the rack. And say, yeah, man, Amari's doing his thing out there. And I'm not even opposed to our center actually becoming the true point guard on the team, because I feel like the guards score way better than him. Even Lamont Butler, when he's healthy, I think he's a better scorer than he is facilitator. So I would like to see him be able to focus on trying to get buckets more than setting people up. That was a nice pass right there from Almanor to get Garrison going to the rack. But yeah, we actually mixed it up pretty good. We had a lot of plays at the rim as well as guys hitting the three, and then you can see right there Berea with that nice mid-range jumper. And I love when we get baskets off of turnovers, man. But yeah, man, Amari was finding guys open, and they was knocking it down. Like I said, Almanor and Berea, man, I feel really, really confident when those guys get in rhythm. Now, I will say Berea was doing a little bit more ball handling than he normally does. But overall, he protected the ball pretty good. And right there, hold on, let me pause that for a second. Right there, that was one of the better back downs that I've seen from Amari Williams this whole season, because a lot of times I feel like Amari rushes his shot at the basket. Like, he might take his time when he's backing his man down, but then when he actually turns to shoot, he kind of rushes it a little bit. So I like that he actually took his time, took a nice little relaxed jump hook, and made the shot. And see, like I said, I love when the Kentucky guys don't rush. Give some head fakes, man, because everybody knows what the deal is. They know Kentucky's shooting the three. They're going to be running to try to chase you off of the line. But you don't necessarily have to get off the line. That was kind of just, that was like just a nice ISO back fadeaway right there. Noah, like I said, man, I think Noah's going to be nice once he gets his turn. And I think that's going to depend on how good of a defensive player he can become. Because I feel like the only reason that Pope feel like he can't rely on him a lot is probably defense. But when he gets to the point where he can lock somebody down, or at least not be a liability, I think he's going to be all right. And there he is again. Like I said, I think Noah can score, man. That was kind of just a man play right there. Ortega just decided he was going to dunk the basketball, and he didn't really care what his defender thought about it. Barea, another 3-pointer from Amari. Like I said, Amari just basically became the point guard at the end of the game. Amari, you know, he just like the guards was getting the ball and just dropping it back for Amari to bring it up the court, um, which is kind of wild if you think about it. The 7-footer is legitimately becoming the point guard, but I just think it works for this particular style of play. In normal circumstances, I would say I would never approve of the big man handling the ball that much, even though I know a lot of big men, Joker, uh, Giannis, a lot of big men in the NBA do handle the ball regularly like this. Even guys that, not 7-footers, but guys like Draymond Green, Bam Adebayo. So a lot of big men are becoming the actual like guys that they run the offense through. And as long as Amari takes his time and he's careful handling the ball, when he gets the pass and then the guys get to moving around the court, he definitely gets them good looks. So I liked it, man. I like what I seen. Like I said, big victory for Kentucky, much needed win. I did not want to go into this Arkansas game on a 3-game losing streak because I'm not gonna be surprised if Arkansas gives Kentucky a decent match just because of the emotional standpoint. I don't know what's going to happen. I know a couple people that got some tickets to this game. I wish I would have got some tickets and been off work. I'm pretty sure y'all realize work has been doing a number on me this season. It's been hard for me to get on here and stream and make videos. So I'm going to try to figure out a way to get more content out. But back to what I was saying, I feel like this is going to be a tougher game. Even though Arkansas on paper is a terrible team, I feel like the emotional standpoint, they're going to play well against us. So we have to be ready. We can't overlook them because of their record. And I'm just interested to see how you guys going to handle Cal. Me personally, if I was at the game, I don't think I would. Like when they announced Calipari, I wouldn't boo Calipari. I would just let him have his little moment. I might even clap for him. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, at some point he's going to be inducted into the Kentucky Basketball Hall of Fame. So, even though he's not one of us now, he's still one of us. And he'll be welcomed back into the brotherhood. But after they announced Cal, every time they showed his face or every time something happened, I would give him the work in Rupp Arena. He's getting booed, but not initially. And then same with the players. Like when they announced Adu Thero, DJ Wagner, Big Z, like I wouldn't have bad energy or negative energy towards them off rip. But in the game, absolutely. When they shoot, when they score, yes, they're going to get treated like the enemy. But anyways, let me know what you think about this victory first. And if you was impressed by Kentucky getting another true road victory in the SEC, another one against a top 10 opponent. And let me know how excited you are for this Arkansas game and how are you going to handle this Calipari situation. How do you currently feel about it? Are you mad at Calipari? Are you indifferent? Just let me know, and we'll get back at it next time. Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson.